Now we're going somewhere. I'm not sure where though. Because it didn't ask me which room. I just got a message that you're live, so you're live on the other channel.
I'm live on some channel, right?
You're live on the Stream Now channel.
Stream Now channel, but not the channel you wanted to be on.
No, I want to be able to pick the channel.
You want to be able to pick the channel. Okay, so we're live, so if anybody happens to be, hey, Ginger's live somewhere, what are you guys doing? We're trying to test the live stream. We did a live broadcast.
They see Sammy.
And they can see Sammy. Well, we did a live broadcast here on Tuesday, and it just failed miserably, so we're trying to come up with better solutions. So right now we're in the test mode. I'll do a little painting while we're doing that. But so you want to stay in this room, or you want to get out of this room and go back and try and find the other room?
Do a little bit here. We can test the other speeds and stuff while we're here.
Okay, so here's, so if you want to, this Sammy's saying ho ho ho. This is a test of Ginger's live channel. He's going ho 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 because he's in the Christmas spirit, but we're not sure why. He's been hinting all month that there might be something Christmassy coming up. So that's, those of you who are watching it, you're going to see these secret stuff. So anybody that happens to be watching, we don't know if we'll leave this up at all. If you happen to be, you know, seeing us, you just happen to stumble across us, this is a test. I'm going to try out some watercolor block paper. I'll just show that. This was bought this at Michael's today. Used my 50% off coupon. What? How much did we pay for this? Like 10 bucks?
$12.50.
$12.50 instead of, you know, 24, whatever it was. So, you know, we used our 50% off coupon, and we're going. People have asked me about
I'm going to drop you to the floor now.
Watercolors on acrylics. Are you still? We're still here. I'm still chatting. Yeah.
Yeah. So far, no errors.
If you haven't seen the video, the recent video we put up just today, which was the how to use you know, inkjet cards and make sort of a watercolor picture. This picture, a painting by Paul Cezanne. We did it small on a little greeting card, and I've got a great video on how to do that. But someone else asked about actual watercolor paper. So here I've got a watercolor block, and again, we may or may not leave this up. We'll just see.
Yeah, we're already buffering.
We're buffering
Already.
Okay,
so that didn't work.
That didn't work.
So let me think now. What you can keep going, and what's going to happen, folks? You know, if you hear us now, you'll be able to hear us. That we may and come back in and try different settings, because for whatever reason I did low enough again. So in there, we're going to be bouncing back. It's kind of a reality testing going on. So you go right ahead and.
Yeah. What I've done here is I've taken artist tape. This is actually called artist tape, and I've kind of pushed it against the edges, and I'm going to do this, the last one here. Kind of hold it between two fingers, pull, kind of line it up on your edge, push it down, and then just take a little palette knife like that, kind of squish that edge down. It's called burnishing. Now when I pull this tape off, ideally I'll have a nice little white edge. The advantage of painting on watercolor paper is that if you can get it on sale, and this is what we call, it's not an individual sheets. These are blocks, so they're all glued down, and then you take a knife and loosen them. Watercolor paper, when it gets wet, if it's not real heavy, has a tendency to want to buckle, and what the blocks do is prevent that, because all the sides are glued down until you release them. So there's an advantage to that. The thing of it is watercolor generally needs to be behind glass and matted, so it's a little more expensive to frame. But on the other hand, if you can get some interesting effects that are a little more challenging to get with a regular acrylic paint. And while you can use watercolor, what I love about acrylic paints is you can do a combination. You can do a combination of some of the effects you get with watercolor, that nice diffused, everything out of focus feel to it, and then you can come back in and sharpen it up and, you know, seal it up and really layer it and have. Again, it's a whole different technique. So what I want to do is I've got a brush. I'm going to put some clean water on the brush, and I'm going to come across the top like this, and I'm going to wet the paper. And this is an old-fashioned trick you do in any kind of watercolor. You kind of wet the paper, and you'll know it's the right consistency when the paper isn't shiny anymore. So I'm doing this sort of landscape. I'm going to come down a little lower here with my sky, probably at halfway down, like that. And you can see how shiny this paper is.
Maybe if you hold it up, and can you tip it for us? So we can see the shininess? I don't think we can really see
Can
it.
you see how shiny it is?
Not really. Isn't that interesting?
Well, it's soaking it up pretty fast.
Yeah.
So it's
Well, again, this is cold press paper, which is designed to do that.
yeah, it's designed to soak up the water. This is cold press. And so we looked it up, the difference between cold press and hot press paper. And John, you looked it up. You want to explain what that is?
Yeah, the cold press is more it's a bumpily or a pubbly finish, and it's designed to absorb and stay wet longer, so you can get the real smooth gradations. Whereas the cold press is ultra smooth, and it really rides on the surface, and you have to push the paint around.
All right, so I've been playing all day with some paint, so I've got some paint out. Let's just move this out of the way. And this is a little bit of Ultramarine Blue here, and I've got a little water on the brush. Now what I want to do is come right up here across the top of this paper. I'll go all the way across like that and lift up, okay? Now the secret with watercolor, and I have a little bit of water here I can use, is you dip the tiny bit of water on the brush and you overlap each stroke like this. And as you come down, you let the sky get lighter and lighter. And it's getting lighter because what's happening is the water is thinning out the paint. Now you can't do this in regular acrylics, and here's why. I'm going to come up here and start again because I want to make this a little bit darker. And each thing this is called a gradation. I want to come all the way down here like this, and a little bit more water on the brush, because with acrylics on paper you can get much thinner and more translucent than you can on a canvas because it wouldn't bind. But the paper, this is just like staining coffee on your shirt. It's going to stain, okay, and it's going to just soak into it. Where on canvas, if you spilled coffee on your shoe, you just wipe it up, okay? So that's kind of the difference between that. Now you'll see that this is kind of a light sky, and it's darker at the top, and it's as I dry this, it's going to get a little lighter than this. I'm going to take a second and dry that real quick. How's our buffering? Are we doing pretty good?
Well, right now it still says it's buffering, but it looks like we're doing it. And I kicked in the picture now to see if that would really screw it up, and it didn't seem to screw it up.
So this is Reality Art TV. This is Raz, Reality Arts Art Studio number 7. This is something we kind of do, just let you be a fly on the wall in our art studio. So it's kind of fun. So now I'm going to take a hairdryer.
I'm going to go ahead and turn you down while you do that.
Okay.
I just turned it down. So, Wendy, I found some interesting form reading about this sort of thing, John. But I'm not going to. Okay, Wendy, that's great. Right now, we've got a picture and a picture. We have a double picture. It says I'm not sending enough information right now, but yet it appears to be. What I think I'm going to do while she's drying is I'm going to go ahead and shut it off. Before you start back up, Ginger, I'm going to go ahead and I want to restart it.
Yeah.
With a different setting. Well, that just changed. Well, that's what's doing it.
What's doing it?
Our channel.
What's doing
I think our soundboard's going out.
You think that's what it is? That the soundboard's going out?
Well, that's our sound issue because it just went weird in my ear.
Okay. So what does that mean?
Well,
Is that like Zen and the art of motorcycle maintenance? That's the two different issues?
No. Well, yeah, in regards to our buffering. What I said is I want to go ahead and I want to shut this one down just for a couple minutes. I'm going to bring it back up.
Are you going to piece all this together? How are you going to?
No, it's not going to stay up. We're testing. This is purely testing.
All right, so you guys are in on the know. You're getting
yeah,
the
I mean you're getting some private tutoring here.
Private tutoring here.
Private
just you and
private
me. Here, all
tutelage.
right, let's do it again.
So what I want to do is I'm going to stop this feed. Don't go away. I'm just going to reset things on the computer because it says we're not rendering enough. I want to try another setting, and we'll be right back after these important messages. It says, wave your hands.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
We back up.
I think. Are you drawing on the paper now?
I'm drawing on the paper.
Yeah, we're back.
Okay, so drawing on
John,
the paper.
can you
What's that setting
screenshot
like?
what it says about the system not getting whatever so I can narrow down my search results? Next time it comes up. What I've done now is I've changed the settings to a little bit lower quality, but the quality looks pretty good to me. We have picture in a picture, meaning we have double picture. I have you video, Ginger, so you have your little camera, and I also have a still of what you're painting, which isn't what you're really
So you
painting.
got me going this?
What'd you do?
Yeah. Hi, I'm waving. Okay, so you got picture. Okay.
Oh
so
yeah, there you. Oh yeah, I see you. Oh, isn't that cute? You waved to me.
I
It's
waved
sucking
to
your
you.
thumb.
All right, so
yeah.
I waved to you, but we're still a little behind, are we? Because I waved a second ago.
Well, yeah. Let me refresh that screen. That was Sammy's. The one I'm watching is really behind.
Okay. So what I want to do now, if they can see me,
Yeah,
is
go
I'm going
ahead.
to take a little bit. I want this next. I drew in a little bit of a mountain. I dried it, and I'm going to wet this little section right here with my. I just did some charcoal here, or not charcoal, but a little bit of new pastel. And I kind of wet it too because it's not going. I'm not going to be able to erase it like on canvas. I'm just going to kind of wet this section, and I want a little. I want some light mountains. So I'm going to take some phthalo blue. Let's see. What do I want? I think I want phthalo blue and maybe a little raw umber. Because I want to, the farther things are in the background, the farther things are away from you, the dimmer they become. So here's a little raw umber, I think, right here. Yeah, raw umber is like a very translucent brown. Oh, so a little raw umber. A little white, a little water, no white, a little water, a little raw umber, a little phthalo blue. Okay, a little raw, okay, maybe a tiny bit of ultramarine blue. Okay, now that's way too much. I'm going to put some more water with that. Okay, so I'm on paper now. I'm going to come this way, see that? Now, this way, and I'm going to say that there's this hill in the background that's doing this, way back here. And I'm keeping kind of the overlapping the brush strokes. That's real important. Okay, so I'm saying there's this hill way in the background that's doing this. And you see it's sort of faded out, has that sort of watercolor look, the sort of faded out hill. Now my next hill I want is a little bit with Dioxazine Purple, and I want that same color, but I'm going to add a little purple to it, a little more water, okay? And I'm going to say that here's my next hill. Now I haven't wet, now what the difference is, I have not wet the paper. I'm just doing this without wetting the paper, so I'm letting my brush. Now when you don't wet the paper, what happens is that you're more likely to get lines. So now I'm just going in with the water. I'm not getting any more paint and coming across this way.
Well, let's do some
and saying
zooming
that
fun.
this
Let's
is
have
my,
some fun here. Let me zoom
sort
in
of
on
almost
this
looks
action.
like a field because I didn't wet the paper. I almost have like little groove lines in this, okay? Because, all right, there we go. Now, one thing I can do is I can, here, I'm going to rinse my brush, wipe it off, and then I'm going to come here like this and see if I can lift up any of that paint.
Oh, I'd be surprised.
No,
Oh, look at that, you are.
A little bit, you can just kind of rinse, wipe, swipe. And so if I wanted
That's
to say,
kinda cool.
for instance, like, let's just block all that out for a second. And let's just say, for the sake of argument, that I wanted to come down here and lift up a little out of this paper and just say that there was some sort of like little hills coming down this way. I mean, maybe I wanted that, okay? Kind of curve some down. It's rinse, wipe, swipe. You can still kind of erase. You can lift it up a little bit if you needed it a little lighter. But the difference between acrylics, regular acrylics, and watercolor paper is that the disadvantage is that I think I want this hill more like this. The disadvantage is that once it's dry, you don't lift it anymore. A little rubbing alcohol maybe would lift it, but mostly it won't lift anymore. So
Because it really gets embedded, the pigment gets embedded into the paper.
it's in there and it's a done deal and it's drying. Okay, so we're going to come back here like this, and I'm just going to, using the corner of the brush, indicate a few little trees, little ultramarine blue like that, kind of stagger them like that from the back of this hill here. Okay, and it's still, everything's still kind of diffused, it's kind of wet because we're still playing with the water. Okay, and that's fine, that's what we're doing. And maybe I want to suggest some shadows in here for this hill. Now I can still get some beautiful soft shadows by coming in here with another coat. Now there's no white on my brush. I'm not using any white. I'm just using everything kind of like a stain. So I'm saying here's a little shadow here on this hill. Maybe there's like a little.
Yes, these are
ridge.
acrylic paints.
These are acrylics. These are the acrylics we're always playing with. Okay, but I'm just saying that there's that kind of that look. I mean, it's a different look, but sometimes people want to play with that, So I mean, how do you do it? Okay, so there's a different look. And this brush is probably too big to try to do what I was doing. Take a little smaller brush here, a little Ultramarine Blue. I want to come back up here and I want a little more detail on some of these little trees back here. So I'll use a little more paint and a little tiny brush like that. Still water, I'm still using water to get all this to move. And I want to make sure that some of these trees are taller than others. It's not a fence. Okay, so maybe this one's a little taller here like that. So sort of and there's my little trees back here. Okay. So that's all I'm doing with that. What question?
Yeah, you want a question? I mean, what the heck, right?
Sure, why not?
Ginger, when painting with watercolor, do you do light to dark or dark to light?
Well, watercolor's light to dark, and acrylics are dark to light, and oils are dark to light. So it's a little bit more of a challenge, you know?
It's a challenge for those that have been painting acrylic for a few years.
But the thing about it is that we can cheat and add white. So here's a
Yep.
little purple. It's a little bit darker here. Here we're going to say that these there's a little bit of, you know, some purple trees kind of closer here like that. All right, now this is still a little damp right here, the paper. So if I want something else to happen like that, just maybe let's just take a different. Now it's still acrylics. If you leave it on your brush, it's going to dry. It's still plastic. It's just, even though it's still water based, but it's still plastic. And it's the same acrylic. So let's just say we had. Here's a little ultramarine blue here. Let's just say, like right in here. There's these back hills here. But what if I had another mountain back here that was blue? I'm going to put that back here. Now, I'm just sort of still putting it in here. Hardly any water this time. And I'm going to say that there's this hill back here. And maybe here, let's take a little bit of color. Maybe here I'm going to say that there's some trees like this coming this way. I mean, I'm just playing around here. I'm just saying that there's a few little trees here like that. Where's that little brush? I'm telling you what, you want some detail. Now we're talking about, here's some trees. I'm just sort of tapping them in here.
Well, we're way behind we are way behind from where you are.
Are you?
Yeah. You got all your trees in right now. You're just putting the mountains in on the right.
Really?
Yeah. So why don't you hang in there? I want to do one other setting.
Okay.
So everybody hang in there. Again, I'm going to shut her off for a moment, change the setting, and we'll be right back after Sammy's important message. Let's pop over to Sammy for a second, shall we? There you go. And we'll be right back after these words. Okay, they got the ho ho ho. Where's that back? You're painting, right?
Yeah, just a little bit. Just playing with something.
Okay, I think
just
you're.
Seeing if it can be done. You know what I mean? Just kind of. Why did the chicken cross the road?
And it wasn't just to get to the other side.
It was to show the armadillo it could be done.
I love it. The Sammy is the backup glasses holder for Ginger.
Yep. Okay. All right.
Stream
so
resumed.
Are we back in here yet?
It's just coming up now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So I put this back hill in and dry a little darker.
Okay, we got new settings, folks. Let me know how this one works.
So I put some.
We're buffering
now
already.
I'm actually using what you couldn't do in watercolor. I'm actually going back with a little white paint, and just putting in this hill a little bit lighter back here. You know, a little bit of purple and light, because I put it in and I wanted a little bit. And let's just change a little bit. Let's just take some Phthalo Blue here. I'm going to change this hill here, just a touch, a little purple with it. And I can do that because I'm using white paint, where you couldn't really do that in watercolor. You know, so we're still on paper, but we can go ahead and fudge this a little bit. See? I'm going to say that hill back there is lighter. This has had a chance to dry. Now, one of the things I couldn't do in watercolor, but I could do in this one, is suppose I wanted another hill right here. Let's see, let's take some yellow. I want another. Because color, which are really a little bit here. Side right, purple. It's going to cover it. It's very fake. See that? Yeah, cover right at a yellow medium dried up. I don't want it brighter, so I up, down brush like this. Suggest that. All right.
Oh, you okay. We're going to have to do it again.
We're going to do it again.
Oh, yeah, you're so far ahead of. I mean, we don't even have the Orange Mountain in there yet.
You don't have the Orange Mountain in there? Because it's a cool Orange Mountain.
It is a cool orange. And they're going to be so shocked when we come back and it'll be there. Oh, it's
Yeah.
gotten, yeah. So we can't do what we're doing. Again, we're going to reset, try another setting. Really
we'll
appreciate you. Restarting. Okay, see refresh. Refresh.
How are we doing? We're coming back?
Yeah, you're back now.
Coming back now? Good?
Okay. Now I don't have any picture-in-picture. We're just going to use, see if we can get that.
Okay, so we're just down here, right?
Yep,
Okay,
just
so
down there.
I haven't, now I'm into sort of an orange color. I'm going right across the paper like this. And I'm saying that this is kind of a, golden hill here. Like that.
Right now I get a message that the health stream is excellent. That's something we don't see very often.
Well, that's interesting. And I'm still paying attention to my brush strokes. And I'm using just a bright brush here. I'm not using a watercolor brush, just a ruby satin silver bright brush. It's number 8. And I'm going to come down this way to my hill. Now notice that some of the paper is showing through a little bit, and that's fine. I don't mind that, okay? Now if I put water on the brush, and let me show the differences. If I put water on the brush and I keep going, it's going to come back and stain this lighter. Now all that's happened, you couldn't do this with on a canvas, but what's going to happen is just like if you're staining tea or coffee or anything on clothes, like on a white shirt. I used to sew a lot when my daughter was little and make her clothes. One of the tricks we used to do is take lace and soak it in coffee.
Oh yeah, Karen did that.
So if you wanted to have this thin of a glaze on a canvas, you'd have to use, you couldn't use water because it wouldn't bind, all right, it wouldn't stay. It'll stay fine on the paper. You'd have to use something like this. This is Golden's glazing liquid, and you would use that to get this sort of a thin color. So could I paint this using acrylics just on a canvas? Sure, I would just paint it differently. And I think understanding how the difference is, I think I'm looking at this going, what I want to do is I want to come up into my purple mountain here, and I'm going to make it just a bit smaller. Okay, like that. Going to just a little bit of my raw umber and went a little bit smaller. I want to say that this mountain's coming up here like that. Okay, now I can do that because it's acrylics, and even if I have to add a little white to lighten this up. Now the paper's still absorbing, but at some point it's going to quit absorbing. Does that make sense?
We lasted for 3 minutes.
3 minutes, and then what happened?
YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. As such, viewers will experience buffering.
Yeah? So now, is with me here? We lost him.
No, it's buffering.
Okay, so now I've got a little bit of light color here. I'm going over it. Now, just like anything else, I haven't dried it, but I'm going to say that there's this back hill back here like that. Okay, so there's this back hill. And let's just say for the sake of argument, I've got a road here that I'm going to put in. I haven't put anything really in here, but let's just, for the sake of argument, do a little bit of purple, a little bit of Cad Red with it, a little bit of water. And I'm going to say that right along here like this, I've got some sort of purple road running along through the bottom of my canvas. And it's coming around here like this. Now, have we lost the stream again?
No, we hit gray though one time. This is the first time we hit gray at 3.5.
What's gray? I don't understand.
That's when it doesn't have enough data to do anything and puts up 18% gray.
Really?
Big block. Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Now we're not doing picture-in-picture. We're not doing anything fancy.
Okay.
Is that still just water?
Just still a little bit of water, yeah.
Yeah.
We're just saying that there's some, that, just wanted to put in a little road here.
Sure.
Maybe just suggest that it came up. I know I'm making this picture up, you know what I'm saying? But maybe it came up this way on the hill like that, came around.
Now we're back at a good excellent stream after 2 minutes of interruption.
Okay.
So what happened? You know, what is the difference? Nothing changed. We didn't do anything.
Well, you know, it's hard to know what, you know, you just wonder what changed, okay? I mean, I have no idea. Okay, so now I'm going to just maybe take some, oh, I sure can't use that brush.
Nope, now we're back again.
It up.
Video output low. All right, we're going to do one more setting. I'm going to bring the quality down to 480 and see if that makes a difference. Hang in there, folks. We'll be right back again after these important messages.
Okay.
You're starting the stream back up.
Starting the stream back up.
Says we're back. It'll take a while for us to get over on the. Oh yeah, look at that.
Look
Sammy,
at what?
Sammy's got it.
Yeah.
Stream health is
Just playing
excellent.
around here, seeing if I could make
Yeah, it's going to look odd because I went to a. You have to change your resolution probably in your settings.
Who
Well, I'm only putting out a 480 right now, so it's going to look weird. I just want to see if that's the problem, if it's our quality issue or what it is. So just kind of deal with the weirdness.
All right.
It only took it about 2-3 minutes last time to hiccup.
If I'm understanding you correctly, you've said that
Well, what we're taking is, we're taking a high def signal and we're stuffing it down into the old standard definition.
Okay, so that's what you're saying we're doing here, right?
Yeah, we're just doing this to see if it's, no, it's already buffering, so that's not the problem.
Okay. We're going to go for 2, huh?
2 megabits.
Okay.
All right, we should be back momentarily. I think we're back any second now.
Oh, okay.
Any moment. 8:11, yeah. Okay, we have a new stream. This is really,
This is
I
plan B,
will be
right?
surprised if this works. Here we go.
This is plan B. Okay?
Oh, no, we're up to D or E.
We're D or E
Yeah,
now,
we're on
right?
plan D or E on this
well,
one.
you know, we can't do this in a regular live stream show. The only time we can really do that is
This is the time we have to do it, and, you know, you guys are, I really appreciate you guys hanging in there and giving me feedback because...
we're all learning something. We're finding out what was and doesn't work on watercolor paper, right? I mean, we've got this sort of crazy...
I really like the trees you did.
Do you like the trees?
I don't think anybody got to see you do the trees.
Well, I put some dark green in, and then I put some lighter green in. You know,
Now-
kind of like some highlights. I'm saying that the light's kind of coming in from this direction, and always put a little brown with your green here. There you go.
Now, a question I have is, since this is acrylic, is it no longer absorbent on the areas that's dried?
Yeah, eventually it's going to become much. It's just like we're putting layers of plastic over it. At some point, it's
Okay.
It's not going to be absorbed.
So you have to
anymore
do
at
all your blending and everything while it's wet if you want to
so
keep that
we do sort of
watercolor
this background.
look.
You can get away with a little bit of the background kind of
Yeah.
thing. Does that make sense? Now, like for instance, like this, let's just put in another hill back here, just for the fun of it, right? Since we're playing with it, we've got everything going this way. But what if we said there was another hill coming back this way? Here.
Okay.
So what if we said that, right?
Right.
So we'd start with a clean. I think I would probably just wet this again. You know, try to wake it up. See if that would. It's got paint on it, but would it wake up?
Yeah.
And then maybe just take, I guess maybe some phthalo blue. Just trying to think how far back. Yeah, a little bit of phthalo blue, and water. See, that's pretty blue here. That's pretty bright. So that's okay.
That's a red
We
blue.
could put a little bit of raw umber with it too. All right, so there we go. I'm going to come back here. Now that's so strong that the only way I can dim that down. Let's take a little more ultramarine with it. There we go. So if I want to say this is my back, another back mountain back here. Okay, so that's the farther things are away, the more out of focus they are. So then I would have to lift up some of this paint. Does that make sense?
Now, is that staying wet? Is the area staying wet at all, like the
Well,
blue?
it's absorbing a little bit, right? So
Okay.
I'm saying that there's a, see, and
It's
I'm
kind of a
lifting
cool
that
effect.
paint up a bit. Do you see
Yeah.
that? I'm kind of mopping it up so that it's further back. So I'm just saying that, and that's still a little bit. That's still for me. That's a little bit too strong. I'd rather have this, you know, the ridge here for instance, on this hill here, I'd rather have the ridge, you know, the darker line on than not this one. Then maybe I could come back and then way back here, maybe some purple back, way back here, just barely back here. I might say that there's a, way back here there's some mountains, see? Okay. And just using water and barely any paint just suggests.
Somebody got frozen, it's not us. According to YouTube, good stream health since 8:11, and I have 8:15, so we've been 4 minutes without a problem.
Oh, good. So, all right, so I've put
So,
this back.
don't think
See,
it's us,
I've got another
guys.
hill back there. So see all those hills?
Oh, I love that. I think that's a cool effect.
So I'm not sure I like these little trees right here. They don't work for me anymore.
No.
So they don't work for me. So now
They need
in
to be a little bit
regular
greener.
acrylics, I would just erase these.
Well, no, you can't erase it. Now, can you overpaint? You can overpaint, though,
I
right?
can overpaint. I can't. They're dry now. See?
There we go. We hit our bad spot at 8:15. We got 4 minutes out of it.
Now look, what I did was I put a lot of water on. Now the problem is you're dealing with paper, so at some point you're going to screw up the paper. So
You can only
unlike
take it down so
canvas,
far.
You can't do it. So, are we gone?
No, it's just a really quick hiccup. I mean, it still says we're not giving it quite enough streaming, but
Okay, so
I'm seeing you do the erasing.
well, see, you can't really just willy-nilly erase on paper because you're going to start to lift up the texture on the paper,
Yeah.
and then you're going to have a hot mess. Okay, so here we go. Just add a little bit of white to that, and kind of erase them that way. Does that make sense? Do you see how I took them out?
Yeah.
And I don't like these either. So look, let's just say, see, the thing that I like about acrylics is, and I got to tell you, the thing I love about acrylics is I can change my mind every 10 seconds.
And
that's
we've
the
seen
kind
you
of
do
artist
that.
I am, which I do. I mean,
Yeah.
I change my mind all the time. And then if I've changed my mind, I can just, just cancel out whatever it was I just did, like that, see? So I'm going to just come back up in here like this, and I'm going to lose some of that watercolor effect.
Yeah, I was going to say, now you're really taking it back into the acrylic world.
Yeah, I took it back into the acrylic world. And so what is the advantage? So you can, there's some advantages of painting on paper, and some some things where it's not so good. All right. Now, for instance, like I don't like this hill right here. So again, now I know this is kind of funny, but as I'm designing a painting, if someone says, "How do you design a painting?" I don't like that hill right there. So I'm just going to take that out.
Oh, somebody just joined us and like to know, what is Ginger doing now and what for?
Well, Ginger is playing with watercolor block, and what we're trying to do is what you're watching here is we're trying to adjust the stream so that we've got a live broadcast with on Saturday. Okay, we're going to do something really cool on Saturday.
We think 3 for us.
And so we're thinking around 3.
We'll post it as soon as we know the time. But
Cinema
3
has
o'clock
not told
Saturday.
us. My daughter, the art Sherpa, is in charge, and she has not told me when we're going. So I'm bowing to her expertise, okay? So right now, we haven't had some real good success lately in painting anything live broadcast. It's just been sort of a hot mess, okay? Maybe you've noticed that. It just has. All right, so I'm going to try something a little different here. Okay, I like that purple. I think I want a little purple back in here.
Now, what kind of
We're just using regular acrylics.
No, in the water paper, it was a
This is a watercolor block.
watercolor block.
Block of paper.
Watercolor block,
put
a
a
9
little
by
bit of-
12 watercolor block we got at
Put a little purple back in here.
Michael's
like
with
this,
our coupon.
Yeah, it was fairly expensive, and somebody said, "What's it like to paint on paper?" And so, what did we figure this? How much a sheet was this by the time we were?
It's under a buck.
$100 sheet. So if you were just trying to play with something, right? So if you were just, just fooling around playing with anything, what would you get? So if you did this, so what is the advantage? Well, sometimes if you're you're going to have a totally different outcome than if you had
It's 140 pound.
140 pound. Here's the paper. This is what we bought. This watercolor Strathmore, and it was kind of expensive. We used our 40% off coupon at Michael's, and it was cheap enough. I felt like I was willing to just experiment. I've taped around the edges, so I have a nice clean edge of something, right?
Clean edge of something. It's going to be a
Something.
painting. It's not a something.
Okay, that's what I have. Yeah, that's exactly right. Now I'm focused on about 6 different things. Okay, so you've got to bear with me.
Are you whining?
let's don't start with me, Don. All right, so I am explaining, which is not the same thing. All right, I want these trees a little taller up in here like that.
I think it's really cool looking.
I'm going to say just make these trees a little taller. So the taller the trees, you see I brought these forward. I brought the whole thing forward by making those trees taller, right? So if I said that there were some smaller trees back here,
That
I'd make,
works.
you know, so I can, you know, make some windbreaks. That's what trees generally are for, you know, on fields, right? So we can say that there's some windbreaks, you know, back here, like that, and it's just then they're smaller. And then maybe we've got another one, little group here of trees like that. And just gonna say that there's some windbreaks here, like that. Something going on down here like that. So then again, what is the advantage of the paper? This is how kind of, like for instance, if I'm designing a painting for the group, I'll play around like this. So this isn't, you know, any particular painting I'm telling you to do. You're just seeing how I'm designing a painting, and I'm looking at that and going, you know, I see something else in here that I hadn't seen before. So now, this is again my painting design. The thing about paper is you might have to do it a couple times. So I'm going to come along here like this with some white, and again, maybe you guys can guess what I'm going to do. Okay, and I'm going to suggest that there is a lake back here. It might be in the background that you barely see. Maybe there's this lake hanging back in here like this, behind our trees. Maybe there's a lake. And if there's a lake, there probably wouldn't be that hill there. Okay? So that hill has to go.
What hill? Which one do you want to get rid of?
I'm getting rid of the purple hill.
Oh, because the
I'm
lake
saying that
ran
there's
into
a
it?
lake here. See, I'm
Well, now you're going to ruin the
suggesting
trees.
that I'm saying, what if there were a lake here? I might have to take the trees out and put them back. That's okay. As I'm designing a picture, that's what I might do. I said, okay, so if I had a lake here, would I like a lake? I don't know that I want the lake. But I had to see if I like the lake, right?
Absolutely.
So I don't know if I want the lake. So that's, you know, when we're playing with it now on a canvas, I can play with this all a day long, okay? And get, you know, and it's fine. It's a little bit more hill here. All right, we've lost the lake. We're now saying this is not a lake. Do you like it?
What's it going to become now?
It's going to become part of this hill over here. Like that. Okay? It's just going to become part of this hill. And then I think I'm going to take a minute and dry everything. Do you have to buffer anything or do anything? Or are we pretty
Do I have to
good still?
buffer anything? I'm trying not to buffer anything. It says we have a bad feed, but I don't know what other settings to try. I'll turn you down.
Okay.
I think I turned her down. Overall, the feed seems to be better than we've been getting. It does come up with errors once in a while on my side, but I'm not seeing too many problems on the actual feed itself. You guys let me know if you've seen anything different. I mean, this is probably the best for those of you. For those of you that have been with us during the week and it's not working, are we doing better?
I mean, are we getting any better? I mean, is it any better?
Well, it is. It's the outages are quicker. They don't seem to be as harsh.
Can you open this for me? Or maybe I can use this one. Never mind.
Can you get it?
I can get the other one. That's just...
Okay.
All right. I'm going to use a little zinc white now. I mean, these are the kinds of things I would use with, you know, regular acrylic. So let's just see what happens on paper when we fool around with this stuff, right? And that's all we can do. Okay. So I'm going to take a little zinc white now. And I'm going to come up here like this, and I'm going to create some atmospheric perspective by just coming back here was almost just behind these mountains here, like that. I'm going to use zinc white and push these way back. Now you couldn't do this in real watercolor, but you can do it in acrylics, right? I don't want to talk about whatever's going on down here. I don't want to talk about it. I haven't decided what it is, so we're just not going to discuss it. Do you like that?
I do.
So we're just going to come back up here and just say that there's some sort of smoke rising up behind those mountains. Here's this hill, like that.
I'm going to be real brave and turn on the picture in a picture in a picture.
Let's see what happens when you do that.
Yeah,
right?
let's just, because it's been going good. I mean, everybody's been happy with it, so let's bring it to the next
You
level.
feeling that brave? Are you?
Sure, why not? Let's go with first. We'll just do the still picture first.
Okay.
Okay, that's in there now. We'll just see how that goes for a while.
I'm going to put a barn in. I'm going to be really crazy and put a barn in.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, a barn? Will we see a tractor?
No tractor. Sorry. No tractor, but I'm going to say that there's a barn here. It's kind of up this hill a little bit. So let's see what happens if I put the barn in, you know. There was this kind of a blank spot, not much was going on, right? So
Yeah, right now we
like
have
this,
we have the still picture in there. We're going to be doing the video and the still at the same time after this runs for a little bit.
All right, so I'm going to say here's my barn roof, like that. Now you can't. There's no water on my brush now. Now I'm just using pure paint, and I can already feel already feel the paint and the paper wanting to buckle underneath me. Just saying, right? I can feel that.
Really?
So I'm going to say here's this barn roof, and I have to have a little bit of water to get the paint to flow a little bit. But I'm just going to, because otherwise it wants to grab a bit, okay?
Mary would like to know, since there's no tractor, how about a mule and a wagon?
Yeah, I know. We're trying to keep it kind of simple here, Mary.
Where's your sense of adventure?
Here's the
the painting that we did last night, that we attempted to do last night. That's it in the upper corner.
Oh yeah, this is it. We did film this, and we're going to release this when on
tomorrow at 8
This will
a.m.
be released on YouTube tomorrow. We refilmed it. This will be tomorrow.
It'll be up on YouTube. You'll have it
on YouTube tomorrow because that was the one that we just weren't able to do, and I've got a new one for next week. Is this cool or what? That's going to be next week.
I think that's a cool one. It's got great colors in it.
Saturday we've got a really good one, but I just can't talk about what it is yet because
you don't know what it is yet.
Which I do.
Oh, do you? Do I know?
No, because it's not done yet. I was halfway.
Oh, that
through.
one. Yeah. Oh, I know.
It was halfway
yeah.
through. I was halfway done.
Yeah.
Then I had to stop it. Okay, so I'm just going to say all right. So now, if I'm saying that there's
Kimson's got a great. I'm wearing a John Deere hat, pink, that says "Save a horse, ride a tractor."
Save a horse, ride a tractor.
I need that.
Oh yeah.
I need that shirt.
Right?
I need one of those.
Okay. Now I think what I want to do is behind this barn, I'm going to put a green tree.
And it's a bronze pot.
A bronze pot.
We called it a copper. It's a bronze.
Yeah. Okay. Bronze pot. Okay. So I'm going to put right behind this barn here. I'm going to put a tree up here like that, and push those hills in the background behind it. See, like that. And also, because wherever there's a light, there's a dark. If I put a tree right here, now our little barn shows up. See?
Are you finding that the acrylics are drying quicker on the paper?
Oh, they're drying very quickly.
Very quickly.
They're drying very quickly.
So if you really want the watercolor effect, you've got to do it quickly.
Well, and here's the other thing too, John. It might not be terrible, like if you were traveling and you just had a small amount of acrylics and a watercolor block. It might be nice because you could just
do a quick sketch
put them in
type
a
thing.
folder when you were done.
Yeah.
And just say that there's
Well, I kind of like that idea.
I mean, you could just travel with them, and really, because all you're doing is, just suggesting little sketches, right?
Right.
That's all you're saying happened here. All right, so let's put. All right, we've got this little tree back here like that. I'm using kind of a big brush over here. Let's just say there's our little tree back there, and just get this up. I want to get that up high enough where it's not. You never want to have one line bumping into another, you know what I mean? Like, it's got to be up higher than those other things, right?
Kathy would like to know, is she using much water? I don't see it, other than wetting the paper initially.
I'm just tapping in the paint now. I did on the sky, if you just join
so
us.
basically,
I did on the sky, but I didn't here, okay? All right. So
Dorothy would like to know if I'll be live on Saturday. I won't be live, but Ginger will be live on Saturday, we believe at 3 p.m. Central Time.
Yeah. Again, we're waiting for, with the art chipper, we're waiting for Cinnamon, my daughter, to tell us when we're doing that. We are going to be doing a 3-color challenge. I will be using Phthalo Blue, Cad Red Medium, your primary colors, red, yellow, and blue plus white. And we're going to be doing kind of a neat painting, I think, So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And let's see, I'm going to come forward here now with some sort of army green shades of... here, so I'm going to come forward here. Now this is the next green group of bushes that are growing in front of this barn here. So they're a little brighter because they're closer. Does that make sense? These are closer.
Lordy would like to know, does the blow dryer Doesn't that hurt the paper?
It doesn't seem to. I don't believe it does. How's that? How's that? That's the best I can tell you. Is I don't.
Oh yeah, I
believe
mean, this is really
it,
something.
I don't think it does. But you know, again, let's take a little bit of yellow oxide here. Have a few little highlights on this tree. Not too many.
I guess when you were talking about running around and taking your paints with you, would that be considered a plein air experience?
You know, if you're painting outside, I found I hated plein air. The world just dries too quickly for me, or it doesn't dry at all. I just, nothing, you know, the humidity, I just didn't enjoy it. I like taking pictures with my camera. And
I find that a lot easier.
The studio. I'm not a big fan. I've done quite a bit of plein air painting, and I'm not a big fan of it. All right.
Yeah.
Do you see how I'm sort of painting this? I mean, I'm making this picture up. That's
well,
not too bad, right? You know, we're just sort of making it up.
It's going to go up on the auction block when we're done.
Oh, I don't think so. I don't know. Well, it may just go right in the trash. You know,
oh no, well, it won't. We'll hang up on Sammy's cave.
So we're going to sit there and say, you know, we're going to just
night, Dorothy.
suggest that there's a.
Dorothy's, you know, from the UK. She was with us for a moment.
Hi, Dorothy.
Now say goodbye, Dorothy.
Bye, Dorothy. All right. Again, this is just we're experimenting with this live. You know, we've.
It's been pretty good. Now we have the one picture. I'm going to go for the picture and picture and picture. We're going to go double picture.
Okay, so we're still happy with this, right?
Yeah. So far, it's been our best.
Our best guess. So you think we have a shot at making this work?
Now let's go for it. Okay. Now you are live on your little camera.
I'm live on my little camera here, so I'm just taking my little brush like that. Now I'm just using acrylic brushes. I'm not using any watercolor brushes.
Well, you're still using acrylic paint. I don't think the watercolor would.
I'm just using acrylic paint here.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's all I'm doing. It's just acrylic.
Should have just buffered for a half a second there.
Did it buffer?
Well, it buffered as it was kicking into the new stream.
All right, but other than that, it's okay.
Yeah, it should be. Let's see what it does.
Okay, so we're going to say this is coming out this way.
Because we're starting to feed a lot of information now.
Okay. Let's see, I'm just going to say, let's just pull some little boards like that. Okay, just down here like that. And, now the paper, in a sense, is a smooth surface to paint on. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's a smooth surface, so from that standpoint, you know, it's kind of, you know, it's nice, right? Just saying that there's a little bit of red on this barn here, and a little rust here going on here, and might be nice. You know, we haven't done a lot over here. Haven't done a lot with the road. Okay, so I'm just maybe just do something here with the road. I haven't done anything with this meadow. I'm just kind of playing around here with what to put in next. See, I think I need a different brush here. What am I going to go for here? I think we're going to need to bring some greenery down. John, did you tell them about our rags that we've got, you know, our marvelous paint cloths? I tell you what, we have come up with the neatest thing. If you guys have not seen this, this is so cool. And you're going, what on earth are you talking about? This is so cool. All right, so we're going to say that there's some bushes right down here like this. Right next to this barn here. Okay, so check this out. This is this label says careful.
Okay, I got another knee. Don't worry about it. I got another one I'm not using.
Original Ginger Cook Imagination Cloth. Okay, and these cloths, you know, they've been. These are the ones that I use to create my artwork with, and each one has its own personal label, and they will be up along with our puzzles. When do you think that's going to be available?
I'm shooting for this weekend.
For this
we'll have the first 6 rags available. They're in short supply, which is hard to believe.
I mean, I use them a lot. We recycle them a lot, so there's not going to be that many, but we're going to have a few.
We're going to start off, I think, with 6 rags to start with. I think I have a total of 12 available.
Okay.
And puzzles, we got 20 total puzzles.
Yeah.
And then coming up after that, or soon, we'll have some more pictures because our walls are covered again. I have no place to hang the pictures.
Okay, so here we go. So we're going to just, all right, so we're going to just, you know, it looks like it's kind of some dirt coming on back here like this. I'm just kind of playing with this, John, seeing what I'd want to do with this. this picture? Do I want to put, you know, I kind of want to put, I'm finding that the, you know, paint is absorbing into, like, for instance, that barn roof.
Yeah.
Like I was trying to do kind of a light orange.
Right.
And it's interesting, the effect. I'm not getting the same effects I would get.
On canvas?
No.
Isn't that interesting? I
But
wonder
that
why,
is-
because
but
it
it's
seems
interesting,
like
but
you
I
have a
want just- I
layer
want
already
a
on
little bit
there.
brighter orange roof here. You know,
Hmm.
coming down here like that, saying there's my orange, kind of with my rusty barn roof, which is kind of pretty. And let's see, I want some kind of, you know, I want some lighter greens.
Hey, we'd like to thank
back in
the
here.
101 people that have given 63 thumbs up for our
Well,
experiment
Thank
evening.
you. I mean, look, what we're trying to do is so the next time we're really doing something, you know, an important live stream, we can,
Say that's going to actually work, we hope.
yeah, we want it to work, you know, because it's really important to us that it works, okay? I think we should put some hay back over here.
Ooh,
You know, what do you think
I like
about
that.
that?
I like
think
that.
we could have some hay if I found the yellow oxide.
never found the painting of honey. Look for, use the search and look for photographer.
What are we looking for?
The painting of honey.
Oh yeah, the
Called The
photographer. That's one
Photographer.
of my favorite paintings, but that's never for sale. We're never selling that one.
The picture
Cinnamon's got her
itself, no.
dibs on that. I promised her that a long time
Yeah.
ago. She may or may not get it. But
No, she's
that's
just
what-
trying to find the painting to do it.
Oh yeah, but my granddaughter, honey,
Yep.
just
Yeah,
all
you
right,
can
so
find
we're
that with
gonna
the search
say that-
engine
Let's just put
in our
some-
website.
let's just put some hay here. Let's put some hay here like that. Let's just stack up some hay. That looks pretty good, doesn't it? Some hay, just kind of stack up some.
Hay rolls, not bales. Well, that's kind of
No,
what you...
well, we have to do bales by the barn because they're going to have. It's going to be like bales by the barn.
Yeah.
Okay. It has to be that by the barn here.
Rhonda would like to have a horsey in the pasture.
Oh, a horsey in the pasture, huh? Well, I mean, why not? I mean, we just.
What the heck?
As long as we're wanting things, right? It's just-
Might as well want...
We've got, oh,
I
I've got this great story. This
Oh,
great story. You guys like stories? I got this great story.
let's go for a great story because I got picture in a picture, I got video, and it seems to be running good. So let's have a story.
Well, back when Cinnamon and I lived in California, we lived near Rancho Santa Fe, which is like this really rich sort of country gentleman's estate with horses and, you know, golf clubs and golf courses and all that stuff, right? But I mean, really, really wealthy. And there was this man who had his house was on the corner of Camino del Real and some other street, and I mean he owned, like, he had a refrigerated trout pond.
A refrigerated
Cascaded
trout pond?
down the hill, cascaded down the hill and into this beautiful pond. It was refrigerated and it had trout. And this is Southern California. It's hot. Okay.
Okay.
So it's refrigerating the stream, this little waterfall stream thing that comes from his house. And it goes, imagine his house is up here somewhere. It's going doo-doo-doo-doo-doo down here. He's refrigerating all that, okay? And he had all this beautiful property, okay? And he decided that he wanted some horses. So he built this, I mean, horse barn to envy all horse barns. And Cinnamon's dad actually got to see it up close because he was a hang glider. Cinnamon's dad used to fly hang gliders in the area, and he accidentally landed there one time. I don't know how accidental it was. I think his curiosity got the better of him. But anyway, that was sort of funny. So let's see. Let's just put a little more gold in there. So anyway, the guy decided to get these horses to go with his. I mean, he's just like, it's like he's made a painting. Is what he's made. He's made a painting from his house. His house is like a painting. Okay. So now let's say I'm going to do a little more green here. We're gonna get some green here. Just pull out all the stops there. Some real light green, and we're going to change the color of the landscape a little bit. Okay. And so anyway, he has the horses for about a month, and he calls up whoever got the horses from him. He says, "I don't want the horses anymore." "Oh, what's wrong with the horses?" He says, "I need them to be dotted across the landscape."
We just
and
hit
they want a
buffering.
clump.
Just hit buffering big time.
We're buffering?
Yep. Let me turn off the picture-in-picture, see if it'll kick it back. It did. Let me see where you are. Where are you? I'm there, you're there, and... So you have all that green grass in. We're just putting the grass in for now.
Yeah, just putting some grass in front here, like that.
All right, so we really can't... I don't think we can do that, all that... Well, see, it's kind of weird how it works.
So we couldn't do all the picture-in-pictures, basically.
Well, I don't know, because it's still showing picture-in-picture in its back, and I've turned it off on my end, but we haven't caught up yet.
Yeah. So you don't think it's the picture-in-the-picture?
I don't think so.
Well, how are you going to
No, this
find
is
out
random.
what
This is random buffering. We have it. I have not changed it since the last change.
Are you writing down what you're doing?
I have a mind like a steel trap.
I know, but did you write it down? Of course you do. Who would ever dream of arguing with that, right?
Well, I can tell you what I did. I did a 3 first, then I did a 6, and then I did a 3.5, and now we're on a 2. And we did
Okay.
that 6, that 480, which was just totally, which I did not think was going to be it. So I purged that from my brain because I didn't need it, because I knew that wasn't going to be the problem. So I don't think we have the picture-in-picture for. Let's put the other picture, the still picture, back up there.
Okay. I mean, I'm having a little bit of fun. I'm having a little bit of fun painting this. I mean, I just don't know if anybody.
I think it was a great painting, and I've already got a bid of $1 million on it.
Oh my gosh, how exciting!
I'm telling you, people want it.
I'm telling you.
Oh, you got to finish the horse story. Did you finish the horse story?
Oh yeah. So anyway, yeah, you interrupted me with your.
I interrupted. No,
with your
YouTube
buffering.
interrupted the whole thing.
With your buffering. So anyway, so he wanted the. He called the people he bought the horses from. Says, take them back. I don't want them. Because he wanted the horses to dot the landscape.
Dot the landscape.
Dot the landscape. Like a little horse here, a little horse here, a little dot, dot, dot. And he says they clump because they're herd animals. They all hang out together because
They do. They're buddies.
They're buddies, and so he didn't like the idea that they clumped, and that's when he got rid of the horses.
Because they clumped.
Because they clumped, and I thought, man, that is so wealthy to just imagine this, and then I'm trying to think, what did he do for a living that can't be that smart because he didn't know that horses herd.
I got a new bit of.
Part of me is thinking that, right?
It's unbelievable. I have a new bid of $1,001,001.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
I'm telling you, this is a unique piece. It'll never be seen again.
It'll never be seen again. You're never going to see those of you who are in the know watching me sort of paint it, right? We're just going to put.
We ought to do that sometime.
What? Just
have an auction for a painting that you're doing right there live.
Yeah, but what if it doesn't turn out, and then people say, "Oh, I saw it, I liked it a minute ago, but now never mind, I don't want it." Then they hurt my feelings.
No.
No, my feelings would all be hurt, and then I'd be going, "Well, they didn't want it. They wanted it a minute ago. What's the deal here?" Okay.
Well, I think it would be fun to do. What do you guys think of that? We do a painting and we auction it off right there on the spot.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, I think it's a little pressure. I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be fun.
You think it would be fun?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so
he should have gotten sheep. Lori says you should have got sheep, right? Sheep don't. They kind of dot the landscape.
Well, sheep would, because they will dot the landscape. In fact, Cinnamon's grandfather raised sheep. When Cinnamon's dad was a kid, they had a big sheep. They don't call it a sheep ranch; they call it a sheep company. Isn't that interesting?
Oh, we've got a quintillion.
Of what sheep?
No. On your painting, a quintillion
dollar. Oh my gosh, I'm so flattered, right? I can't believe it, a quintillion.
Teresa has 79 cents. That's all she has.
Okay, I'm disappointed, but I appreciate the thought, right? I'll try to get over it, right? I appreciate the thought. Okay, so that's a little bright. We'll tone that down a little bit. Just put a little purple in that. So just suggest.
Okay, maybe what we should do is I'll paint something. We'll auction it off. What do you think of that?
Well, you certainly could, John. I would.
Can you run the controls?
I would never stand in the way of that kind of progress.
Fun.
Right?
That's fun.
Yeah. So let's.
It'd be what, my fourth painting?
Yeah, it'd be like your fourth painting, right?
Yeah. I'm really liking that barn. That barn's coming out nicely.
The barn's not coming
out. I've got something with a lot of zeros on it now.
Oh gosh, you guys are just losing your minds with this, right?
Now Beth says that horse poop would dot the landscape.
It just sure does, doesn't it? Kind of makes the grass grow. All right, so then what can we go? So I'm looking at this going, this is what I love about acrylics, not so much what I love about
Watercolor?
Watercolor paper. All right. Now,
What?
just trust me a minute, because we're going to do something radical. I'm going to dry this.
Uh-oh.
All right. Trust me.
Oh, there's a warning. I don't know if that turned down or not. You can rent goats. That's what the guy should have done. Well, when she comes back, I think pretty good right now, right? Without the picture-in-picture. I'm going to go ahead and turn the single picture back on.
All right. We're still experimenting?
Well, yeah. You're still painting. I'm still experimenting. I mean,
All
right now
so
it seems to be good.
This bush here.
Which
Okay?
bush? The one in the corner?
Yeah.
Oh, I like that one.
Do you like this one?
Should we take a vote? I mean,
don't
go
know if you
ahead,
like the
but
bush, you know, let's see.
I kind of liked what it was. It gave it depth.
Well, I think we have to change the shape of it, but in the meantime, I need something a little different on the road here. I need a lighter road. I definitely need a lighter. I need something coming across the road like this. Maybe with some blue here. Maybe we need some blue shadows coming across the road. But that's kind of pretty. That definitely looks watercolory, doesn't it, when you do that? Blue shadows coming across the road. I don't know, this is okay, but this is very, very, you know, there's nothing going on here. I got to put a fence or something. There's nothing going on. And if somebody says, I want a horse, and I'm not against giving you a horse, I'm happy to give you a horse just for the fun of it. Find a little brush here to, you know, throw in a horse. But I'm just trying to decide where the little horsey would be. Barely see it.
Well, yeah, I mean, looking at the size of the barn, he's going to be pretty far
the
back
barn's
there.
here, so the horse is going to be about that big. You're barely going to see him. You really are. We might get away with a fence here. All right.
People are saying they like the trees, so don't take the trees out.
Okay, so we might get away with like a little fence here. You know, an old fence, just coming on here like this.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'm with you.
Like that. You know, I'm just saying that there's a fence.
Oh, we have one person that says lose the bush. Well, I'm sorry, you've been outvoted.
All right, so here's an old fence, right? And okay, so
I
that's
like
the
that.
start. Now you see how the paper's kind of. I almost have to have water on my brush to even get this to work, right? Here's like this, you know, this little fence back here. And
I wonder why
barely
that
see it.
is, because now you should be just like canvas. I would
Well,
think.
it should be, but it's not quite. It's still very papery. Does that
Huh.
make sense? It's still very
No, it
papery.
doesn't. Not to me.
So
but-
we're gonna just, you know, just kind of, you know, make this old barnwood, right? We get a light side to that. Okay, there you go. Some sort of old fence, and that's not very interesting. So let's have one coming down like this, and maybe I don't know.
You could have the horsey looking right at you.
See, there you go, like that. There's some little fence here to just make it a little bit more interesting. Probably should have put a mailbox. You know, here. Well, if that was we said that was the gate to this place. We could have made a gate here. But I think what we have to do is just come up with some sort of greenery growing around the edges of it or something. We need yellow now, kind of out of paint. It's a funny kind of paint. I mean, this isn't kind of an old-fashioned kind of looking painting. You know, it's okay. I'm not against it. I'm just saying that this is, and it's different. It's different to do on the paper.
No zombies.
Zombies, I don't know, but how about police tape? You know, everywhere and just that. You know,
Oh,
big
that'd be
crime
fun.
Scene.
Yeah.
You know, big crime scene, right? So here's let's just we can be shadowed under this part here like that.
I thought you would have more paper buckling. Is it buckling at all?
No, it really isn't.
This is a block. There's a block of watercolor paper, glued all the way around the edges.
Yeah, it kind of is glued all the way around the edges. I don't really like that one there.
The
now
red
let's
one?
just see it in real acrylics.
You
in
could
real
erase
stuff,
that.
I could just erase it. I could just spray it and erase it.
Oh,
okay?
this ought to be fun. Because you dried everything else, right?
Yeah, kind of. All right, now will that erase? Now, unlike, see, did that erase a little bit?
It erased a little bit, but it tinted it.
It tinted it because it's paper, see? So it did.
Even
tinted
though it already had a coat of acrylic on it. That's interesting.
Yeah. Now, what I would have to do, now here's what I would do if I was really serious about painting this, okay? Here's what I would do, okay? I'm just going to put some ground back here.
Dead grass.
Easy to fix, right? And we're going to put some old, you know, going to just say we've got some, you know, old weeds and stuff for bushes coming up here on the side of the road. We're going to make that a little bit darker. I would then take varnish and seal everything. Okay.
Oh yeah.
And then
If
I
you
would
did
seal it
that,
and then keep painting, and then I would stop this paper effect. Does that make sense?
yeah.
I would
Yeah.
take that varnish and seal it all.
Once you were happy with all your watercolor affecting,
Yes, and then I would seal it
and then go on.
and then go on.
I like
and then I
that.
would just keep. I would just get. Here's my dirt, country dirt road here. See, back this way, and
I'm sorry. Rhonda's suggesting a dead horse, stiff legs up, straight up. The crazy neighbor didn't like his horsey. And then put your tape around it, and we'll call it good.
Okay, so I've got a story about that. You guys want to hear the story about that?
Let's go for another story.
I've got this friend, and she lived in that fancy, the place I told you about, Rancho Santa Fe, the guy that wouldn't,
Yeah.
had the horses.
Yep.
And her husband was a doctor, okay? And she got in it with the neighbors. And
They were
I've
duking
forgotten
it
what
out.
she did, but she got in it with the neighbors. I mean, really got in it with them. And I think her dog killed their rabbit. Okay, they had a rabbit, and her dog killed the rabbit.
That's possible.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, so the neighbors were really mad at her. Okay. Just kind of lighten this up against the hill here, like that. Neighbors were really mad at her. So anyway, they got into some sort of war going on. I've forgotten the details of it, but it was bad. And then her dog got poisoned.
All of a sudden,
Yeah,
type deal?
this was poison, and she was convinced that they had done it. Okay, and so her husband was working like 4 hours away in another part of California, and she wanted to live there with the horses and everything. So I mean, he was driving like almost 4 hours a day so she could live in this silly neighborhood, right? And so anyway, her dog got poisoned, and I remember she had her. And it turned out that the neighbors were drug dealers.
Oh, really?
And she had gotten into a war with some very scary people. They could afford the nice residence, but these were not the people. She hired a private investigator and found out that these were not the people she wanted to be fighting with.
After the fact.
So she threatened to divorce her husband. She said, "You can't protect me." She says, "I don't know what's wrong with you." He's driving to work. He's driving so far every day to work. She had him sitting outside, sleeping in the pickup their truck, with a shotgun to protect, watch the house at night because she had other dogs. She won't let him back in the house.
Hey, Fiona, I'd like to know, can a picture of this painting be available on your website? It's really beautiful.
Do you think so?
I told you, I've got
telling
bids
you,
for it already.
I'm just shocked, you guys. I'm just looking at this going, huh? So we gotta make this little pole skinnier here, like that. These are a little bit fat.
And don't plan on watching this again, folks. This is a
This
one.
is a one and only. I'm making this up as we go.
Making
that
up
make
as we
sense?
go, and it's not going to be able to be replayed because it's been pieced together with a bunch of testing. If you read the test room, it says test room, testing the system will not be kept. And we're not kidding.
We're gonna put a little crow on the
So
fence.
if you want to watch it now, you can rewind it, I think. I don't know. I don't even know what would happen if you try to rewind it.
I don't know. This won't be up, and I think I'm gonna put a little crow on the fence.
Oh, I like that. Somebody had suggested a vulture.
Well, if I made
think
it
that was
bigger, it
Rhonda.
would be a little vulture, right?
I like that little crow, though. He's cute.
All right, so here's a little crow on the fence, right?
Yeah.
Then if we had a little crow on the fence, me and birds in the sky. So what if we had,
Oh, somebody suggested a hang glider in the sky.
that's too close to home. Cinnamon's dad flew hang gliders, and he wasn't very good at it.
Did he ever hurt himself?
No,
Well.
that's it. No.
Well, then how can you not be good at it? If you don't hurt yourself and you walk away, I think you're pretty good at it.
Well, I guess some people would see it that way.
That's how I would look at it.
I'm sure, but as I looked at it, as the person that he would fly off of a Black's Beach in Southern California for a while, okay, off of Black's Beach, and it was a big long cliff down to the bottom, and everybody else managed to land their hang gliders back on top, and he always landed on the beach, and then he expected someone else to come help him carry the
And who was that
thing.
expected person?
Me,
Yeah.
back up, right? He expected me to come help him carry the stupid hang glider back up the cliff, right? And then he was the first one to put his dad's a really genius guy, kind of a jerk, but he's a genius guy. And, everybody has their high points, I suppose, but
Yeah.
no, but his was hang gliding. So, anyway, he put Oh, I like that with the, we could say that the shadows were caused by the fence posts. I'm getting into this now, you guys. See?
It was, yeah, but now that everybody likes it.
Yeah, now the shadows are caused by the fence posts like that. Okay, so anyway, so he's put a chainsaw engine on his hang glider, and he's flying around the neighborhood. And then he wants help. He wants someone to help him put it together. He wants help. It's not just some project he wants to go do by himself. And I just found it extremely aggravating after a while, because I'm really not a groupie person. You know, I'm not one of those groupie people. You know, they go, oh, I think that's so neat. I just would watch you forever doing that. You know, no, I saw you do it one time. Good, have fun. You know, write when you get work, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, can you make any money with this? Could you possibly do anything with this? Okay, so anyway, the upshot of it was that he made the neighbors mad. Okay?
I would imagine.
Because he was buzzing their houses.
Yeah.
They didn't like it.
That's an irritating
back
noise.
Behind here. You see that right behind the roof here, so it shows up. So
Well, yeah,
anyway,
it looks like it's blending into your background there.
Yeah, so we had this one lady, and just going to put a little bit of tree here so that it kind of separates it like that. See, just a little bit right there. So we had this one lady, and she was a beautiful little house not far from us, you know, up the road from us. Really cute, looked like almost like a Hansel and Gretel cottage with flowers and everything, and really liked her house. And anyway, besides Colby running around with his hang glider, there was also, because we were in the country with horses and stuff, it was the helicopter testing ground for the people that were building helicopters also flew around. So between Colby and the helicopters, she was mad, right? So
she was in the wrong neighborhood.
She brings Colby over to her house, and she has the helicopter guy there too. She figures she's going to tell both of them at the same time. So we get summoned to her place, right? And the people from the airport where they're building the helicopters, they come, and she says, I need to talk to both of you because I've got to tell you something. And you know, what's the deal, you know, madam? And she goes, I do not want it. This is where I am on the map. This is my house. Nobody flies over my house again. I moved to be out in the country, and you people are screwing with me, and I don't like it. And the man said, you know, lady, he said, you don't, and, you know, my husband's backing off, right? Because his dad's backing off quickly, going, we're so sorry, you know. And the other guy's going, wait a minute, you know, you know, you don't own the sky here, lady, and the county says that we can do whatever we want. And she says, listen, you, I own, and she points her finger down at the ground and up at the sky, I own from here to God. And if you, I never forgot this, if you fly over my house, I will shoot you down. And she shows him her shotgun.
Did they fly over her house anymore?
Never.
See?
Nobody flew, because, you know, she just was a little bit nuts, and, you know.
And nuts enough to pull the shotgun out.
Well, I mean, she pulled the shotgun out. You know, and I think, you know, everybody just, she was marked, you know, no one else, you know, had the nerve to complain, right? And anyway, that was the end of that. I think this kind of came out. I mean, that's going to, now, all right, let's just show what happens here.
Wait a minute, are we done?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I think so.
Okay. Oh, I like the edge. Look at that edge you get. Pre-framed, ready to go.
So here's our...
Oh, that is so cool.
There's our tape. We got another piece of tape here. Like that.
Uh-oh.
Well, you see, there you go. So that, now there is some tape you can buy. All
That's
right?
designed for watercolor paper.
That's designed for watercolor paper. All right, that was artist tape, and you can see that.
And that's the side you burnished. See, the other side you didn't burnish, did you?
I think I did burnish it down, but still,
You really pressed on that side, though.
you know, I don't know. So what I would do here, whoops, just try not to get water in the sky. Here, I know how to get my sky back, right? So let me put out some fresh paint. I can probably repair that.
No, let's see.
I can repair that. It's not that big a deal. Maybe I would just frame it in a little sooner. But
little
I
tighter.
would suggest if you're going to do the tape, here. I'll just come up here like that with a little bit of white. Now, a little bit of white.
Oh, that blended right in. Wow, you're good.
And
looks like you've done this before.
Just a tiny bit of white, you know, because I'm basically saying that this is a little bit darker here, right? A little bit of white there, and then I'll take, it's nice to know how to make the same colors, you guys. So I'm going to say, here's the color of the hill, like that. I'll just bring it up like that. Let's see, look, I fixed it.
There you go.
There you go, it's sort of fixed, right? So
Well,
I would say that's our
that's our lesson. That's our non-lesson for tonight.
non-lesson for today. It's just that's our non-lesson for today. That was sort of fun, and
Yeah, this was watercolor acrylic painting at its best.
yeah, okay.
Well, this is
okay.
really your first time doing this?
Yeah, I haven't ever really done this before. Now, to get this off the watercolor block, I would make sure that if there's a place here, there's a place where it's not glued down.
A little corner or
In
something.
the little corner, and you've got to take a
razor blade
like a
type.
palette knife like this or something and scrape it out. But I would let this dry.
Yeah.
Overnight.
I would too.
You know, to me. And then, you know, as far as signing it goes, I think you could just, you know, it could be signed. You guys were very sweet to hang in there with us with this crazy
129 people have say.
You know, thank you. Does anybody have, because you were so sweet to hang into our Raz, does anybody have any questions? And, you know, we can tell you whether I would do this again or whatever.
Again, let's remind you, Saturday, we believe at 3 p.m., Ginger will be on live, and it looks like we have a setting that we're going to be using right here. 2 megabits at 720p30. Make a note of that, Wendy.
You want to write that down. Is that the setting?
No, it's in my head. Yes. I got it. That was someone's. It's been the best, and I have one picture in a picture. We can do the still picture. I just don't think we can do video in video. You know, they had some buffering, but for the most part, it's better than we've ever had in a long time in a galaxy far, far away. So, we have Monday. We'll be back Monday and Tuesday again live, hopefully, with our new settings that seem to be working at 7:30 p.m. Central Time.
And I tell you what, I've got a good design for a painting here, and I might work this into a, you know, some sort of other acrylic lesson. You know, if I wanted to do a painting like this, this is a quick sketch. I'd say I have a quick sketch for a picture. Okay. Would
you do this for a lesson for us?
Yeah, I would. It just, I might, you know, I think so. If you guys like the picture, you know,
they do. They would like to have it.
Okay. All right. So I would, you know, I like the kind of the colors, the orange and all this blended. I mean, I like sort of the muted colors. What the paper does is mute the colors. Have you noticed that? Acrylics are kind of bright and shiny.
I personally like the way that looks, but again, I'm from the watercolor.
Here's an acrylic painting, and
yeah.
Can you see? Let me just move the paint. Can you see that the?
Let me turn the picture off.
Like this. You see,
hold on a second. There we go.
There's something about the paper that sort of softens and mutes everything, which is a nice effect, isn't it?
Well, to me it is. I mean, I'm from the watercolor world.
Yeah. So I mean, you probably like that, and again,
yeah.
You can get some nice detail and so forth. And this wasn't a very big paint. And again, we got this was watercolor, Strathmore watercolor block. We got it at 400 series.
Michael's.
115 sheets, 150 pounds. So we figured by the time we used our
140 pounds.
140 pounds. By the time we got our
took our discount.
I think we were at right.
$13, $13.50 something with tax.
So anyway, here's Raspberry Art Studio. Number 7. There we are, you guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging in there with us.
7? Wait a minute. I gotta get the 7 showing.
And I hope you'll come to join us Saturday.
Saturday, 3 p.m.
Remember,
Central.
Tomorrow, this is going to be released tomorrow on YouTube. This was the one from Tuesday night. We didn't get released. That's going to be released. That is.
Did you? And you saw the one for today, right?
Yeah, and then the one for today we did. If you haven't seen this one, this was a quick watercolor. Instructional on using this is an inkjet card, and I didn't show it in the actual video. I forgot to mention that there were envelopes because my hands are always dirty. I hate to touch them. You know what I mean? And I sent someone a nice card with paint all over the envelope. Seemed a little stupid. They're envelopes. These are the inkjet cards, and I show you how I finish the card so that you can paint on it because I don't just paint flat on it. I do some stuff to it. I show you that in the video, and your likes and your comments are appreciated. And you know, like I say, we're not leaving this up, so it was just you and me, you know, together. We're just
as we were testing our system, and I think we got one that we can live with, so we're going to keep going with that. Saturday, 3 p.m. Nothing Sunday, taking Sunday off. Then we have Monday, Tuesday, and then we're off and running for another week. Hey everyone, thank you very much for participating in our test room, testing the system, and will not be kept.
Night.
All rights are reserved.
If you have never subscribed to my channel, please do. Please do.
Oh.
Thank you.
And if you've never visited our website, please do that, gingercooklive.gallery.
We've got some amazing paintings on that website.